Are you still struggling to pack less even after downsizing your toiletries, embracing a minimalist capsule wardrobe, and limiting yourself to 2 pairs of shoes? Well, today I'm going to do a deep dive into the real secret of packing light that no one talks about: laundry. Let's go. Let's talk about why a laundry plan is the secret weapon for packing light. And I know laundry isn't exactly the sexiest topic when it comes to travel, but I promise it's one of the smartest things that you can plan for. And it's probably the biggest mindset shift that helped me go from being, well, quite the overpacker to more of a carry-on only kind of gal. And y'all, I have to tell you that this overpacking habit started very, very young. My mom tells a story of me going with the brownies for a 2-night camp experience. And when the brownie leader brought me back home, she told my mom that every time she turned around, I had gone and changed into a different outfit. Turns out I had packed enough clothes for more than a week of camp, and clearly I wanted to be able to wear them all. So when I first started traveling as an adult, I used to pack like I was maybe starring in a one-woman fashion show, complete with outfits that I'd never even worn at home. I'd bring a different look for every day and backup options, because what if I spilled something? Or what if I didn't feel like wearing that outfit? Or what if I turned into a completely different person who actually needed 3 fancy dresses for fancy dinners out? I know. Does that sound familiar to you? But eventually those heavy, really overstuffed suitcases became a huge pain to carry around and deal with when traveling with trains and planes and all the things, and something needed to change. And that's when I started embracing the travel capsule wardrobes, which are great. But I quickly ran into the problem of what to do when the clothes get dirty and maybe smelly, and I kind of started to regret packing less. But that all changed when I started intentionally making a travel laundry plan for my trips. Having a travel laundry plan gives you freedom, flexibility, and it makes those capsule wardrobes actually work the way that they're supposed to. Instead of packing 12 tops for a 10-day trip, I only pack maybe 4 or 5 or maybe even 3. I'll wear each thing more than once on purpose and just plan to do laundry once or twice during the trip. It's no big deal when you know you'll have a way to wash and dry what you need. Plus, doing laundry on the road also means that you can rewear your favorites. You know, those pieces that really make you feel good and go with everything and are super comfortable. Instead of saving them for special days on the trip, you just wear them, wash them, and wear them again. It's also helpful for those in-between weather trips when you're layering, sweating a little bit during the day, then maybe needing something a little cozy at night. Being able to wash as you go just makes everything so much easier. So planning to do laundry might sound boring, but I promise it's the key to traveling lighter, feeling more organized, and still looking and feeling like your best self. And it does not have to be complicated. Coming up next, I'm going to walk you through all of the different laundry options, from cushy hotels with laundry services to washing your undies in a sink with maybe a glass of wine nearby. Let's dive into the first, easiest, and probably my favorite option: the hotel laundry bag services. Now, I'll be honest, hotel laundry is not always the cheapest option, and I will only use it if the price is per bag and reasonable. You have to be careful because a lot of these fancier hotels, or even some not so fancy hotels, will charge per piece, and it can be outrageous. The place we stayed in Helsinki was charging €8 for 1 pair of underwear. But that being said, when it works, it really works, especially if you're tired, short on time, and you just want the luxury of handing your sweaty travel clothes to someone else and getting them back clean, pressed, and folded. It's super convenient, saves you time, and you don't have to bring along any extra supplies. Most of the times you'll be getting your laundry back the same day if you leave it out or drop it off at the desk in the morning. Obviously, the biggest con is the cost, as this will generally be the most expensive way of doing laundry when traveling, but It's really different from hotel to hotel and destination to destination. In Peru, in Cusco, I left a huge bag of laundry and it only cost $4. And in Ireland last year, we used the hotel laundry service in Galway, and that was only about $25 per bag. Both seemed very reasonable to me. The other cons to using a service is the potential for maybe some damage to your clothing, or possibly them using detergents that you might have an allergic reaction to. So far, I've been lucky and haven't had either of those things happen to me. If you're staying somewhere, let's say mid-range to upscale, and you've got a few essentials, you need to get cleaned quickly, especially if they are heavier weight or you've spilled something kind of sticky or hard to clean on them. This is a great option, especially mid-trip when everything starts to feel maybe a little bit sweatier and grimier. Now, if you are staying somewhere that wants to charge an outrageous amount of money to wash your undies, and you have a fair amount of clothes that need to be washed and might not dry overnight, option number 2 is another favorite: the wash and fold services. If you've never tried this, you are in for a treat, because usually this method gives you the convenience of hotel laundry without the sticker shock. These are little local laundry businesses that do, well, exactly what the name says. They wash your clothes, they dry them, fold them, and hand them back to you in a very tidy, fresh smelling bundle. I have used wash and fold services all over the world: Tokyo, Finland, even in the Florida Keys. And it's one of those small travel luxuries that feels surprisingly affordable. Here is how it usually works. You're gonna drop off a bag of clothes in the morning, and sometimes there's a weight minimum, but I've never really run into that problem. They'll give you a little ticket and tell you when to come back. A few hours later, or possibly the next morning, your laundry is ready to be picked up, clean, dry, and folded like magic. It's budget friendly since they usually charge by the kilo or pound and not by the item, and it's usually fairly quick, getting it back either the same day or the next morning. And other than getting to and from wherever the laundry location is, there's really no effort on your part. Plus, it gives you another opportunity to engage with some locals. The biggest obvious con of this option is finding a wash and fold location that's going to be near your accommodations. We really lucked out in Finland finding one that was literally just 1 block from our hotel, but I would try to scope out options prior to your trip if you have a good idea of where you'll be when you are going to want to be getting some clothes washed. I'm already looking for options for our upcoming Portugal trip, since we will be there almost 2 weeks and we'll be on a tour, so we won't really have time to do laundry in our rooms. Doing this mid-trip to reset your wardrobe freshens up your suitcase and gives you that clean feeling without having to lift a finger, really. It's especially great for things like jeans, joggers, sweatshirts, items that are harder to hand wash and take much longer to dry. Now, let's talk about some do-it-yourself options, the easiest of which is to book accommodations with laundry facilities. Whether this is a hotel with a laundry room or an Airbnb or VRBO that has a washer and dryer available to use. This is the laundry plan that I use the most often, and it is by far the most convenient. You can do as much or as little laundry as you want and on your own time. I do bring my own laundry detergent sheets to make sure I'm not going to be using detergent that I might be allergic to. And if you're staying in a hotel with a laundry room, you might want to find out ahead of time how much you need to pay for the machines, whether you need to bring some coins or if the machines will take credit cards. This is also a good time to have your own laundry bag with you to be able to transport the clothes to and from the laundry room. And this option will require a little more babysitting, so your clothes don't maybe end up getting piled somewhere in the laundry room because, well, someone else needed to use the dryer and you hadn't removed your clothes when they were done. Yep, that is something that has definitely happened to me. And finally, our next section is all about how to do laundry yourself when you don't have access to a machine, or perhaps you just have a couple of quick dry items to wash. This method is especially great for shorter trips or if you're moving quickly and don't have time to drop off laundry. I also love it for things like underwear, socks, and lightweight tops that are maybe starting to get a little ripe. You will need to pack a few items to make sink laundry easier. I always bring my own laundry detergent sheets, some Clorox wipes, a nice sized universal sink stopper, and a few foldable clothes hangers. But you can always use the shower rod or a lightweight travel clothesline like this one if you prefer. The first thing you're going to do is wipe down the sink or tub with your Clorox wipes to make sure that what you're cleaning your clothes in is actually clean. Second, you'll fill up the sink or tub with warm water and dissolve a portion of the laundry detergent sheet in the water. How much you use is dependent on how much you're washing, of course. If it's just a few pairs of underwear, I'd probably only use like a quarter to a third of one of the sheets. And then you're going to put your clothes in the water and let them soak for about 10-ish minutes. I'll usually swish them around with my hands, trying to, kind of mimic the motion of a washing machine. And if something has a stain, I'll just lightly rub the fabric together or use another soft cloth to remove the stain. You'll want to be cognizant of the fabric that you are washing and not be tough and aggressive with like merino wool or silk items. Then you're going to drain the water out and rinse each item thoroughly. You want to make sure that the soap is completely removed so your clothes don't end up getting too stiff. Depending on the fabric, you'll want to gently wring the excess water out of the clothes, but again, you're going to want to be careful with those delicate fabrics. Then you're going to want to roll each item in a towel to remove even more moisture from the clothing. And if you want to take it an extra step, literally, you can step on the towel to add more pressure and remove more water. This helps tremendously with the drying time, which can be a big issue if you need to pack everything up and check out the next day. Now it is time to hang everything up to dry, preferably someplace with heat, AC, or a fan blowing nearby to help speed things up. Depending on the fabric, it will generally take 8 to 12 hours for most items to dry. Of course, anything that is mostly cotton is going to take much longer to dry, so keep that in mind when choosing your clothes for a trip where you will need to do sink laundry. Another option is to use a dry bag or even a large Ziploc bag to do your laundry. You'll fill the bag about half or maybe even 3/4 full with warm water, add the appropriate amount of detergent, put your clothes in there, and again, let them soak for a bit. Then you are just going to follow the rest of the steps from before. This is a great option if you don't have a very large sink or a tub to do laundry in, or perhaps you're staying somewhere where you're having to share a bathroom like in a hostel or a guest house. The bottom line, in my humble opinion, is that having a solid laundry plan is the ultimate packing hack. It helps you pack less because you know you can wash and dry on the road, and you don't need to pack all of those just in case outfits. You'll save money because fewer clothes means not paying extra for checked bags or even worse, those crazy overweight fees. And ultimately, traveling lighter just makes for a more enjoyable overall travel experience. I am curious, do you have a go-to travel laundry hack, or did I miss another travel laundry option? Let us know down in the comments below. I always love learning more from y'all. And now that you can feel more confident about packing less clothes, check out this video on how to put together your next travel capsule wardrobe. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video today. I hope you have safe and wonderful travels.